Episode number 2. Hi-ho, Squatchers. This next story is coming at you from Lincoln County, Missouri. It's a Bob and Cindy story. Pardon me while I take a sip. Now, before we get into tonight's story, I have a few words of advice, words of warning for all you hikers. Couple examples, because, I've had some experience with these hairy creatures. So, here's a couple examples. Now, let's say, just for instance, you might be walking down back road in your neighborhood. You see a dog laying there on the side of the road. As you walk up to that mongrel mutt, you don't see him moving. That tail ain't twitching, nothing happening. Now, okay, that dog may be old. He may be just sleeping right there. But let's say he's not sleeping and you can see some blood and gross stuff laying around. Okay, well, maybe you walk on a couple more feet because you don't know what to do with no dead dog anyway. And you see laying right there, about 3 feet in front of you. Why, you see the dog's left eyeball, optic nerve twitching and such. Why, I can pretty much bet you probably have a Bigfoot living in your neighborhood. You shall hightail yourself right home. One more story. Let's suppose you're walking down another dirt road. You come around the corner, and right there, laying all squishy and dead, is an octopus with all its antennae. Come on, now I know what you're thinking. Octopus don't have no antennae. They do when they're from outer space. And this means aliens. Now, you think about it. I learned this from the hairy hair guy on that History Channel. I don't know what they call that program. Something about aliens or something. That's fact. They're always talking about their facts. Well, one thing we know that's a fact is if they're aliens, then they're a big feat. So here we go with today's story. Robert and Cynthia said they never given Bigfoot much thought until their personal encounter with it sometime in 1997. It affected me more than it did my husband. I can't let it go, said Cynthia. It was a hot, late afternoon when the couple drove to a lonely above... Let's try that again. Oops. Sorry, hold on. I got to take a sip. My mouth dry. It was a hot, late afternoon when the couple drove to a lonely alcove of the William Logan Conservation Area in Lincoln County, about 10 miles north of Troy on Highway 4061. The couple parked their car at the top of a hill, and they decided they were going to try to get some smooching in. Later on, they walked down towards the lake. This said by Robert, Bobby, as we know him. We were told there was some good fishing in the lakes up there. At the bottom of the hill, the couple stumbled upon some unusual footprints. Well, they looked like human footprints, but quite large. I'll never forget the big toe. That made me think, why don't they call them big toes? They call baby ones little toes. Told my husband it could be a Bigfoot. But I was just joking. So we kind of shrugged it off and dismissed the print and continued towards the lake. We were observing the surroundings when we heard heavy branches snap. If you spend a lot of time outdoors, you can hear animals moving in the bush and the brushes. Not that rare. I didn't think much of it until we heard heavy breathing, heavier than my husband when well, never mind. Anyway, that breathing was very, very hoarse. Horse, like in the four-legged creature, horse. At least that's how I spell it. I told my husband again, and this time I wasn't necessarily joking. I said, look at that footprint. It's so large. Why, it could be a Bigfoot. And listen to that. And we heard that hoarseness again. It caught my attention, and it caught his. It was like a human, only 1,000 times magnified. I know that number seems a little crazy, but it was exactly 1,000 times, not 1,001. The breathing seemed to be coming from something right next to us. And then the growling started. Again, first I thought it was my husband. He gets kind of horny sometimes. But it was a snorting and sort of a growl, almost like a gorilla in those zoos. But this sounded more like King Kong. Anyway, they were snarling grunts, very deep and guttural. I think I might have even heard this. They were snarling groans. They were groans and growls. I said, okay, yeah, we're out of here. So we began running as fast as we could up the hill to our car. My husband, he took the lead. Chicken. I said, now wait a minute, wait for me. I didn't want whatever it was to come up and get me. I heard stories about them hairy creatures. They like them girls. I never had anything scare me like that before. I don't mention this much now. I don't talk about it too much. When we got home, I got on the internet and I found a BIGFOOT database. Reason for that is because there seems to be an awful lot of fact. Photographs, sound effects, and such, absolute proof that these creatures exist. Sure enough, it claimed there were sightings listed all over the county. Further research uncovered a history of Bigfoot sightings in Louisiana as well, and Cheyenne County. I think there really is such a thing as Bigfoot. Perhaps. We've had one or two come through Missouri ourselves along them waterways. Reason some say is because they happen to like the waterfowl. Us folks, we call them duckies. In September that year, we took a long drive trip to Oregon and Washington, and we began visiting the sites of several reported Bigfoot encounters. Now, I know that sounds crazy after we were scared to death, but what the heck? We thought we'd go and find them ourselves one more time. Might be fun. Anyway, we got to speaking with some young Oregonian kitty kite salesman who claimed he and his father found a dead one. You believe that? Dead one lying face down in a mountain stream. you listen hard, you might hear the sound of that dead one still making noises after death. Sound like a cat. There he is again. Anyway, we thought we heard sounds. We turned around. There was a live Bigfoot in the trees, just a few feet away, watching us, ducking in and out of the trees, shaking them trees to beat the band. We turned and we ran out of there. We hightailed it so fast, man, devil couldn't shake a stick at us the way we ran down that hill. Next day, while we were eating breakfast in Seaside, Oregon, we mentioned it to the waitress, and she stared at us with her mouth open. She warned us, she said, you know, us locals, we don't go to Saddle Mountain anymore. I asked her why. She hesitated, looked away for a second. She had that far-off look in her eye. And she quietly said under her breath, Bigfoot. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Hope you enjoyed episode 2. Y'all take care. If you like this story, you please leave some comments on YouTube for me. I'll get back to you. Bye.